that is really unfortunate, and there's a
And he
handshake.
has to pass back.
And
Life points. Takes 15. And that's it. Takes a lot, and he gets it. Dragon Lords take out more set cards, and this is it. Shinsuke Hiyama is going to be a 2-time world champion. A lot of dragons. And that's it.
It's not very common for a country to be defined by a number. However, in Yu-Gi-Oh, there is a number that defines the United States when it comes to the World Championship: 0. A region considered by many as one of the meccas and often the cornerstone of the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG has been unable to take the most important title there is. The title has eluded them for 17 years and is the one asterisk on its competitive legitimacy. 4 second place finishes and many disappointing performances later, this is the story of the United States at the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship. In order for us to understand the magnitude of all this, let's go back to the beginning. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game was launched by Konami in 1999 in Japan, and then 3 years later in 2002, it launched in the United States. For this reason, the two countries have often been considered the co-capitals for the Yu-Gi-Oh! World. Japan focuses their tournaments more on the local scene before jumping to the Asian Championship, while the North American region of the US and Canada host YCS Championships, previously known as Shonen Jump Championships. 2003 was an early era with no major tournaments, so the World Championship was so important. The 2003 World Championship was held in New York, New York. It was only fitting for the Americans to try to be the first champions, and on home soil too. 2 Americans, Mike Rosenberg and Tao Tao's son, made it to top 4, but both lost. Ang Yu Lu of Hong Kong was victorious. 2004 was a new opportunity, and once again the World Championship was held in the US, this time in Los Angeles, California. Roy St. Clair made it to the top 8 but lost. The tournament was won by Japan's Tagawa Masatoshi. 2005's American team only had 3 representatives, as top 4 finisher Brian Coronel had difficulties with his passport. Held in Tokyo, Japan, the US failed to get any players in the top 8, even though they had the second most representatives there, next to Japan who had 4. Japan managed to get 2 representatives in the top 8. Markal Miltades of Greece, the one representative of the nation, outlasted 41 other duelists to become the world champion. Let's skip to 2008. The World Championship was held in Berlin, Germany. The United States was able to get 1 representative in the top 8, New Jersey's Robert Ackerman. Unfortunately for the United States, Ackerman couldn't get the win, and it was Japan's Matsuka Suzuki that won it all with his Gladiator Beast deck. 2010, the championship was held in Long Beach. Las Vegas native Vincent Paglia took his Blackwing deck into the finals against Panama's Galileo Del Valle and his Frog FTK deck. Vincent took game 1, but would lose the next 2 games, and Galileo Del Valle would bring the first championship to Panama. 2013, David Keener from Pittsburgh and his spellbooks would fall to Huang Xian and his Dragon War deck. After a key card destruction let Huang out Keener's board, the United States would once again be unable to take the title on home soil. In 2016, the World Championship brought us to Orlando, Florida. Shinsuke Hiyama from Japan easily defeated Eric Christensen in the Blue Eyes Mirror match after Eric drew very poorly both games. In 2019, the most recent tournament held, Dakota Cody Angelhoff finished in 4th place, the one American to make it into the top cut. So I guess you can make the argument, well, Worlds is practically a glorified locals, so why does it matter? Well, if it's just that, a locals, then why does the United States have more titles, especially if it has sent a minimum of 4 representatives per year, except for 2 occasions? Okay, and about that, the US has a bunch of top 8s. Indeed it does. However, let's look at the conversion rate in another way. 78 players have repped the United States, 22 of them have topped. That's about 28% of the total players to finish in top 8. Considering the amounts of reps we sent, is it impressive? The US has also missed top cut 3 times in 2005, 2011, and 2018. These numbers aren't impressive when you send 4 to 6 representatives every year. Okay, what about Japan? They sent a bunch of representatives too. Yes, it's actually very close, but it all completely diverges from there. The US has sent 78 representatives, while Japan has sent 76. And then that's where the story goes different. Of the 76 players to enter for Japan, 38 have finished in top 8, at exactly 50%. They have 9 titles to show for it, and 2 second place finishes. One of them being in 2011, which was an all Japanese finals. Okay, well, what about the other countries? Well, what about them? Italy has sent a total of 24 players to represent them, with 9 finishing in top 8. That's a conversion rate of 37.5% of players that have topped. They have 2 second place finishes and a win by Dario Longo in 2006. Panama's been represented 7 times, 6 of them by Galileo del Baldia. The country has 5 top 8 finishes, or a conversion rate of 71.4%. The country has a title, and Galileo is currently the only player to ever finish in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place at Worlds. Taiwan has been represented 15 times at Worlds, and has 10 top 8 finishes, putting it at a 66% conversion rate. They have 2 wins by Huang Xian and Wang Chia-ching, in addition to 2 second place finishes. Chile has been represented in the Worlds only 6 times, yet they have 5 top 8 finishes, and the 2007 title was won by Patricio Toro Valenzuela. Greece has a world title by Markal Miltadis, even though they have just 2 top 8 finishes on 5 appearances. The TLDR is, the conversion rates aren't good. This video isn't trying to bash the US, but more of me trying to figure out where has it all gone wrong. 2020 has been a rough year for the Yu-Gi-Oh community with limited events. The COVID-19 pandemic put a halt to the Yu-Gi-Oh world in real life. While there has been online events and even remote duels, it just isn't the same. So going into 2021, we aren't sure what's going to happen. Will there be a world championship? And if there is, will the US finally take the title? What can we do differently? Has it been deck building? I will say that some teched out decks have won worlds. The 2005 champion tagged his Chaos Restrict deck to include Phoenix of the Nethys. Dario Longo's Chaos deck was teched out with Royal Decrees to counter traps of the meta. Robert Ackerman had his Gladiator Beast teched out as well, but his opponent teched 3 DD Crows and 2 Cyber Dragons just for that mirror match. Joe Winston piloted an innovative Exodia deck in 2012 all the way to top 8 before losing to the eventual winner. In 2014, Chase Cunningham had a teched out Artifact Satellar Knight deck that he took 4th place with. In 2019, Cody Angelhoff had a very interesting side deck, and he took it all the way to 4th place. So it's hard to say, has it been deck building or tech choices? Has it been about learning the meta? Since 2014, the OCG and TCG have been using different ban lists, thus complicating things. So even if certain cards are out early in the OCG, they play little relevance if they are banned at Worlds anyways. Skill itself is hard to measure. As I mentioned before, Asia focuses more on small local tournaments while the TCG focuses on YCS events. It's hard to measure skill from the OCG and TCG, since they rarely play each other. The only player to ever truly cross over from one card game to the other was Satoshi Kato of Japan. I've tried asking on various Facebook groups and Discords about why the US hasn't won a world title, and I've gotten a bunch of different answers, from somewhat serious answers to I was being completely trolled. I guess I'll leave it up to the comments section on YouTube. Let me know what your thoughts are on the US's shortcomings at the World Championship. Will the US ever win? And tell me if your country has a World Championship. Well, that's a T for magnitude, guys. Thank you so much for watching.